Hey everybody. I often get asked this question. How do I find more time to draw? Uh, and especially with life going on, it's really hard to find the time. I understand completely. I went through 2 master's degrees. My first master's was I was working 2 jobs and running a part-time business on the side. My second master's degree, I had a brand new imported family. I had an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I was struggling to find that balance. And everybody has their problems. And so there's a couple of things that I really recommend to really start being able to draw and do other kind of work. Grab a sketchbook. If you have a sketchbook with you, you will be more likely to use it. In my 20s, I used to fill about a sketchbook every month and a half. That's 100 pages every 30 days. I used to do it on the train. I used to do it while sitting in school. I even used to do it on break and stuff like that. So just, if you have it with you, it's there. And you can build up your sketchbook real quick with no real worries. The next thing I really recommend is to create a time to do things. Creating a time is really hard. We're busy people. I mean, I'm busier now than I have ever been. Kids, family, wife, cats, everything. Responsibility is basically greater than it was. And so having a set time to do something every day becomes a ritual. For me, I do most of my artwork at 9 o'clock at night starting. I do it until 1 o'clock in the morning. That's 4 hours a day. That, my wife is sleeping, the house is quiet. And so just finding that little bit of time, and it doesn't have to be an hour, it doesn't have to be 4 hours. If you can find 30 minutes a day to just, this is my time and this is what I need to do, you'll find yourself doing quite a bit more. Center yourself. And this is different for everybody, and you have to figure out your own way to center yourself. But I always felt like creativity was one of those things that it's like a bucket. If you have it full of creativity, and then throughout the day, as you go and move, that slowly kind of whittles itself down. That creativity is ultimately given away to other students, or given away to your kids, or given away to your spouse. It's really about how you use that bucket. And I always find that centering yourself makes for a bigger bucket and just has more left over for you. And everybody does it differently. I personally go for walks. I go for a walk in the morning. I'm walking down the nature trails. I'm looking at nature, and it's a place to basically allow my mind to wander, to think of new concepts, to think of different things that allows me to basically be more creative during the day. The next thing I always recommend students to do is to create a list. 3x5 note cards. They're cheap. You can go at the dollar store and get a whole pack of them. And honestly, writing down your to-do list for the day is a huge aspect. It basically holds you accountable for what you're doing for the day. And you don't always have to finish the list. Finishing the list itself, really, it's unnecessary. But checking things off that list allows you to give yourself an accomplishment. Hey, you know what? I did the dishes today. I did laundry today. I, made dinner. And so doing that allows you to sketch a picture, draw something for me, do something for myself. And that by itself, I always find that it becomes more of a responsibility. It's something that I have to do. And that allows me to actually do the work. And so when I draw a picture on there, it may only be a 10-minute picture because that's all I have the time and energy for, but I get to check it off my list. And it allows me to the next day put it on again, and then next day, and then next day. And then drawing becomes ultimately a habit. And the more you do something every day, the more habitual it becomes. The other thing I recommend is to create a dedicated spot. And this one's a little bit harder. And I have a couple of dedicated spots to do things. But the first and foremost thing is create a dedicated spot so that you have a place where you can do your thing. And this could be a number of different things. It could be an end of the kitchen table that doesn't get used. Or it could be, like my personal space here is I've got my office, and then, I basically work on my computer for school and internet browsing and all that stuff. But I don't want to sit there and draw art because I sit there all day. I don't want to do it. So having a secondary spot really allows me to kind of have my own location to do this in. Now, I have a couple spots. As I mentioned, I have an oil painting spot. So I have a spot where I can hang up a canvas and kind of paint. And if I don't finish, I don't have to clean it up. Yeah, you have to clean your brushes, but I don't worry about if I'm going to ultimately have to clean that space up. I've got a drawing table, and if it's a mess, it's a mess. It's okay. But allowing you to have that spot to do your things basically allows you to really kind of work on and kind of do your own thing. So that'll leave you with 5 things to do to basically draw and allow yourself to draw more. If you like this, hit the like button or hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again next week. Bye, guys.